Were breech-loader firearms common in the Civil War? Imagine a battlefield where soldiers are loading their guns faster than ever before. That was the promise of breech-loading firearms, but how often did they actually appear during the Civil War? Well, the standard weapon for most infantry was still the muzzle-loading rifle musket, specifically the .58 caliber model. These guns required soldiers to pour gunpowder down the front of the barrel and then ram in a bullet, which took time and effort, especially in the chaos of battle. Breech-loading guns, which load from the back of the barrel, represented a big step forward because they could be reloaded much faster. They allowed soldiers to fire more rounds in less time, giving a real edge in combat. But despite their advantages, they were not the most common weapons used by soldiers during the war. Breech-loaders were mostly issued to specialized units like cavalry, who needed quick reloads while mounted. The Union Army did use some notable breech-loading rifles, like the Spencer repeating rifle. This gun had a lever-action mechanism and a magazine that held 7 metallic cartridges, letting soldiers fire multiple shots without reloading each time. It was a game-changer for firepower. The Confederate Army also used the Sharps carbine, a breech-loader that was accurate and quick to reload, especially useful for cavalry troops. Other models like the Burnside carbine were also used, and near the end of the war, the U.S. government started converting many muzzle-loading rifles into breech-loaders using the Springfield Armory's trapdoor mechanism. Still, most soldiers relied on the older muzzle-loading rifles because they were easier to produce, and there was already a huge stock of them. Manufacturing capacity for breech-loaders and repeating rifles was still developing, which limited how many could be issued. In the end, breech-loading firearms did have a significant impact, especially among cavalry and elite troops, and they foreshadowed the future of military weapons. They allowed for faster firing and changed battlefield tactics, but they did not replace the traditional muzzle loaders for most infantry soldiers during the Civil War.